The parents of an Alberta teen with autism are looking for answers, and they say their son was traumatized after being arrested by the RCMP in a playground. The CBC's Wallace Snowden is in Edmonton with those details. Wallace, thank you for your time today. Tell us what exactly happened.
Well, Riley Bowman is 16 years old, but his family says he functions around the age of a 7-year-old. He's nonverbal. He was visiting his grandparents' home in St. Alberta about 3 weeks ago, and the home backs onto a school playground. That afternoon, he asked to go play on the swings, and minutes later, he was gone, arrested, and his family began this frantic search. RCMP say there was no criminal incident at the park that day, but they decided to make an arrest when Riley could not tell officers his name. Riley was transferred to an RCMP holding cell, then to hospital. RCMP say the boy harmed himself repeatedly while in their custody. And then about 2 hours later, after his arrest, RCMP say they realized their suspect was actually a child with special needs and that a missing persons report had been filed by the boy's family. Riley was sent home with soft tissue injuries to his face, neck, back, and hands. No charges are pending against him and none are being considered. The boy's parents, Laura Hawthorne and Aaron Krause, say he remains traumatized by his encounter with RCMP. He once loved playing outside. He's now afraid to leave the house, afraid to be alone, to be on the street, and terrified of sirens. They say this has led to major setbacks in his development, and they're concerned about the long-term impacts for their child. Here's Riley's father.
You talk to parents who have children that have autism, they're going to tell you that their biggest fear is that their child is going to be misinterpreted, and that when they are misinterpreted, that it could lead to their harm in some way.
Now, are there any... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to let you take things off from there, but it is, quite striking to hear the family, of course, and their concerns about the long-term impacts for Riley in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. So sorry for interrupting you there. Are there any official investigations underway?
Well, RCMP have launched an internal review. Alberta's policing watchdog, the Alberta Serious Incident Response Team, is also investigating, and they offer slightly different accounts of the events of that day. RCMP say they believe the child was a man impaired on drugs. They say they had received numerous calls concerned about a man acting strangely in the park, and they were concerned about children there. But new details from ACERT shed a different light on that. ACERT says a 911 caller told RCMP that a young man in the park could be severely disabled. So officers were informed of Riley's disability before officers ever arrived in the park that day. Riley's parents, of course, still can't fathom why RCMP were called in the first place or how their son ended up in handcuffs. They hope what happens next can improve policing protocols and training and reduce stigma in the broader community for people with disabilities.
Okay, Wallace Snowden, thank you for bringing that story to us.
Thanks.